Good morning on this bright and sunny day. on this nourishing, moist and most green Irish day. I want to welcome all of you with my most blarney heart. And I'm trying to, I remember when I was living in Europe for quite some time, and my family's from the south of Ireland, from the County Cork. We have a few in the County Kerry, but we won't talk about those, that end of the family. But the thing was, I was in the airport, and I had rented a car, which was something kind of new to me at the time. And then I found myself on a country road, and it said Limerick. It had like a white sign, like this old thing. It said Limerick this way, Galway that way, and Kildare the other. I was like, wow, I am really in the land of the green, and I'm among the leprechauns. So this morning, with the most green possible welcome, I want everybody to please stand up and try to help us sing. Those who are able. We have come together as a family. We have come dear as we are, leprechauns and all. We have come with arms wide open. Oh yeah, we have gathered here in love. Love. Here we go. Spirit is in this place. Oh yeah. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this place. Oh yeah. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We will sing in celebration with words of prayer. We will sing with words of prayer. We affirm that life is sacred. We declare that peace is here. 3, 4, Spirit is in this house. Oh yeah, sister. Spirit is in this house. Spirit is in this house. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this house. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide, for I'm only here for God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. In my faith I see the light. I am here in the Spirit. I am here for God. I release, and let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide, and I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. In my faith I see the light. I am here in the Spirit. I am only here for God. I am here in the Spirit. I am only here for God.
Thank you, Alan. Thank
Good
you, Bill.
morning.
Good morning.
Oh, a most gracious good morning to you, madam.
Oh, I just want to say I'm very proud of you all. We made it here. Good. Give yourself a pat on the back. Everything can be a blessing. We can be grateful for everything, right? Wow. Congratulations. It was hard this morning. Anyway, my name is Nicole, and I welcome you to the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living. We are a beautiful spiritual community whose foundation and values is that of oneness and wholeness. We recognize that eternal, immortal light within every single one of us. And so if you're here for the first time, there is a packet of information you can get at the front, or you can come see me after service, and I can introduce you to some people and answer some questions you might have. We have an incredible service for you this morning. Oh my gosh, I can't even wait. We have our guest musician this morning is Nadine Risha. Not only that, but we have Alan Boustede and Bill Wolf. Our practitioner this morning is our beloved Tom Hodges. And reading our sacred covenant this morning is Keith Watanabe. But first, we do have to get into some announcements, so I'd like to invite up Wenda to share the first announcement.
Thank you, Nicole. Good morning, everybody. My name is Wenda, and I am normally not here at the 11 o'clock service because I'm in with the older kids over in the youth group, and they're actually waiting for me, so I'm going to do this as quick as I can. So, can I illustrate? No. Okay, so what I am announcing today is this lovely notebook that is for business cards for all of our congregants that have their own businesses or services. So in here, it just so happens my business cards happen to be on top. It's so weird. But we already got one put in here this morning. And this way, if you have a special business or service to offer, we can come to our church family first. We do have a little disclaimer that just because you get a business card from here doesn't mean the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living is endorsing. Yeah, you have to read all the fine print here. So, but I just want to show you a couple of ideas and remind you of all the things that you may be doing, that you have business cards for.
It's a Mary Poppins bag.
We may have a resident plumber.
That would be helpful.
Actually, it is. I won't tell you why I have it. Never mind. Okay, that's for another time. Okay, you may need a tax accountant. I know I do right about now. You might want to hire a musician or a sound coach or a music teacher, yes. A handyman. A chef, a baker, Yes, exactly. Okay. Or a personal assistant. I don't know anybody that is a personal assistant, but I might be. And I learned very quickly not to say in front of guys that I'll do most anything. But it's really just an extra pair of hands for busy moms, busy people. I'll drive people around and help you start making dinner, take the kids to soccer, all that stuff. And lastly, you may be a dog walker, or I may be a dog walker. I am a dog walker. Okay, so that's enough of my shameless plugs. But this will be on the sign-up and information table in the back of the church on a regular basis, and so let's all support each other.
Yes.
Okay, and now I got to go get back with your kids.
Thank you. Now Bill has an announcement.
How many of you like to sing? Now, I heard at the beginning of the service, a lot of people like, so we are starting choir next week, and we're singing for Easter. It's going to be a joyful time, so I expect the whole congregation to show up, right? I mean, come on. But it's going to be, we rehearse next Saturday. We have some wonderful, joyful pieces for Easter, which is on, this year, it's on April Fool's Day, actually April 1st. So plan on coming. Our first rehearsal is this coming Saturday at 4 o'clock here, and you don't have to have any experience. It's just the joy of participating together. So thank you.
That's so great. Thank you. Also, we have first, our flowers this morning are in dedication to Dean from his beloved Bill. And it says, "To my loving husband on his young birthday, I love his positive attitude during his struggle with the cancer that has been with him for over 9 years. He will win this battle. I love you, Dean, so much." Also, this Wednesday evening, we have Stacy Robbins. Stacy, will you raise your hand? Stacy Robbins will be facilitating a talk on, or an experience on, navigating through the struggles and the ups and downs of relationships, of marriages, of potential relationships. And so I know that it's going to be an inspiring time together. And so I hope you all join us at 6:30. We also have a support group. I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have a support group called Living and Thriving Through Life After Loss. And they meet on the third Sunday of each month. And this is a powerful group of women who are here to support and serve you in any transition in grief or loss that you experience. It's Reverend Juanita, Reverend Donna, Sylvia, and this is a great time to really come together and feel community in that time for you. Saturday. Isn't that right? Okay, Saturday. Also, our newsletter foldings. This is the first way that I started participating in this community when I came here. Newsletter foldings, we just have volunteers come upstairs on Thursdays. It's the third Thursday of every month, I believe, and it'll be Thursday, March 22nd, and we just fold the newsletters that get mailed out to everybody. But really, it's a time to create community and be with one another. So that's also another great opportunity for you. And now I'd like to invite us to move into a more meditative state where we get to practice our spirituality. We get to be in the spiritual beings that we are and be aware of that for a moment. Just taking a deep breath in. How good it feels to know that we are together, that we are one, that we are whole, perfect, and complete right here. And in this time together, we get to experience, we get to vision cast. As Keith leads us and speaks the words of this sacred covenant to us, our hearts and our minds can vision cast, drawing in that minister that is so near and dear to us to fill the void.
There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with the life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved Jewel by the Sea. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to glorify God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, "We see a world in which every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle. All human endeavor is to find such inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes." I stand in agreement with my beloved community. I see my minister as revealed before me as a wise and loving presence, God's consciousness in expression. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing that this truth about myself, for I am inspired to live as love in the expression of wholeness. I am awakening the wisdom within me. I am applying the power of love through wisdom. I am connecting with, loving, and serving our local communities. I'm creating an inclusive, loving environment for individuals, families, and our thriving youth program. I am exploring the mystical teachings of different traditions. I'm fostering an elevated music program that aligns with this message. As I now accept the highest expression of our new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that will glorify God and serve the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am so grateful. God is gracious. Amen.
I invite us to remain in this space of meditation, this space of contemplation, as we allow the music of Bill and the invocation of Tom to remind us who we are.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, wonderful Spirit.
There's a story that I heard about a village far away a long time ago. And this village sat on the edge of a river flowing through a forest. And the banks of this river were a deep, rich, red soil. And the artisans that lived in this village would collect this soil and with the water from the river make a moldable clay. And from this clay they formed large vases or urns, some of them as large as a human body. And when they had created the mold and that was done, it was put into a kiln and fired, driving all the moisture out of the clay so that what remained was just a hard clay pot. And then a man came along with a large wooden club and would with great force strike the urn and shatter it into thousands of pieces. While this looked like a wanton act of senseless destruction, there was a method to this, because the artisan then began to pick up the pieces and, using a cement that he'd prepared with gold infusion, he would cement the pieces back together. When this process was complete, what had originally been just a dark reddish brown clay pot, urn, was now an intricate, beautiful piece of art with all of the little gold filigree and all where it seeped through the cracks. For some of us, our lives are like this. Events happen, experiences, circumstances that absolutely knock us to our knees, reduce us to a pile of rubble. But God is there in the midst. Whatever the situation, whether it may be a failed business, loss of a long-held job, financial problems, relationships, health, regardless, God is there to pick up the pieces and begin putting them back together. And when He's done, we are once again whole. We are once again complete. The cracks may still be there. They're reminders of whatever our experience was, but we are whole. And so as we go into the silence this morning, I invite you to consider that God is right where you are. God is in your life. If you're having a problem of any kind, God is there to put the pieces together. So as we continue our service this morning, I'm grateful for the vocal stylings of Nadine Risha, for the beautiful music provided by Alan Bastine and Will Wolf. Grateful for everyone who had a part in bringing this service together. And certainly grateful for the presence of each and every one of you here this morning. So I invite you to join me as we affirm, and so it is.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, wonderful Spirit.
Good morning. I invite you to close your eyes again if you wish. We can continue in that beautiful meditative state. This is a chant called Sacred Stones. It's an invocation of our higher self in this present moment, releasing everything that has come before. It's a call to prayer. It's a call to remembering who we are. Namaste.
Shantakaram Bhujagashayana Padmanabham Suresham Shantakaram Bhujagashayana Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrasham Shantakaram Bhujagashyanam Padmanabham Suresham Amen. Dominus illuminatio me. Amen. Dominus illuminatio me. Amen. Vishnu, 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 Vishnu. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrasham Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Amen. Namaste.
Oh, I don't want to leave that. I can't even clap. This is the second time for me, guys. Oh, wow. She is a gift, isn't she? Oh, my goodness. Thank you for sharing your gift with us. I could just feel, couldn't you feel like the energy inside you was just vibrating at a higher level? Like it was saying, like, I am pure spirit. I am pure spirit. I am pure spirit. That's all I heard. Gosh. Well, take a deep breath. Okay. This month, our theme is revealing wholeness in everyday life. Revealing wholeness in everyday life. And so, since everyday life can be quite varied, I thought this morning we'd talk about Greek gods, dirty dishes, and chaos theory. Okay? Yeah. But first, I wanted to share a joke that I heard. Are they sitting in the back? Okay. I want to share a joke that I heard that reminds me of Bela, the little girl who normally sits in the back with her dad during first service. Oh my gosh, when I heard this, I just cracked up. So there is this little girl who likes to go to church, the big church, right, with the adults, with her mom every Sunday. And this one Sunday, you know, she thought she would get, like, the message. She thought she always feels like she gets something out of it. She's 8 years old. But this one Sunday, the preacher just went on and on and on, and she didn't know if it was ever going to end. And she had it. So she leans over to her mom, and she goes, "Mommy, if we just give the guy the money now, do you think he'll let us leave?" I thought that was so funny. Anyway, it is hot in here, isn't it? Okay. Is the heater on? Okay, so thank you. Our talk title for this morning is Making Magnificent Messes. Making magnificent messes, because let's face it, life is messy, right? My life is messy. We have chaos, we have confusion, we are these eternal spiritual beings living in this world. So with that, there is a lot of opposition. There's a lot of messiness that goes on. And so what we'll do this morning is look at 3 different messes that many of us have in our lives and navigate our ways through them together. So several thousand years ago, primordial forces such as birth and death and rolling thunderstorms haunted human imagination. And so Greek gods arose, great gods arose to explain the creation of all things. And in Greek consciousness, the god Chaos was at the very beginning of all things. And chaos was this vast yawning chasm of devoid of form and fullness. And he had a partner, Gaia. Gaia was the mother of the earth. She was the creator of form and stability. And so together, these 2 great gods were partners in a duet of resonance and dissonance, of opposition and togetherness, of chaos and of order, and so created all things. With that in mind, with this idea that chaos is a part of it, a part of what creates the order, this morning, the first magnificent mess that I'd like to talk about is the mess in our minds. Am I the only one who has a messy mind sometimes? I didn't think so. I just wanted to check. Our minds are crazy. I mean, they tell us the craziest things, right? We've got opinions and dissertations on ourselves and others, and we've got emotions that are attached to these ideas and opinions, and it's all going on in here. And so I think our internal environment, I think our mind can sometimes plague us or create more suffering than any external event or other person ever thought of, right? Because it likes to tell us silly old things like, you're not good enough, or you are not going to be okay. When the truth is, we're still alive. So whatever we've gone through, we were okay, right? We've always been okay. We've always made it through, or else we wouldn't be sitting here. And I know that this is a common experience for many of us because of the statistics of people on antidepressants, or the statistics of people who use drugs and alcohol to quiet their minds, the people who binge watch TV shows and play on their iPhones and use video games to just stop the voices. It's a common experience. It doesn't make it any easier because we're always alone inside, right? We're always alone with those voices that and they say like, why is the voices inside always try to demean us? When we know that the truth of who we are is eternal, is beautiful, is good, why do the voices inside try to tell us it's not? I don't know. But what I do know is how to navigate through that, because I've experienced it my whole life. I'm sure many of you have too. And so what we begin to do is we begin to become aware of them. And I know that sounds simple and fundamental, but honestly, be real here. How many times have you been ranting and raving in your mind and you didn't even know you were doing it? Right? You're like, oh, crap. I was just like, oh, don't look at that person. Oh, look at that person. It's like, oh, dear Lord. So we got to become aware of it. Becoming aware of it empowers us. It leaves us with knowing what we don't want. Oh, this is the experience? I don't want this. So what do we want? What do we want? Well, lucky for us, I feel really lucky. We have an entire philosophy, an entire way of life, an entire faith that reminds us and urges us to have a new idea, to think again, that in every moment of our lives we are reborn. We are born again with choice. We're born again with choice, and we get to implant those new choices, those new ideas, those new thoughts. And we can be really hard and fast and set on what it is in our mind that is keeping us grouchy and irritable and angry with ourselves or someone else. But that's poison. That's poison. And so we can say, this is what I don't want to feel. So let's start implanting it with things I do want to feel. I do want to feel that eternal joy of the divine. I do want to feel these things. I want to feel peace. I want to be able to close my eyes at night and not be ranting and raving. I want to be feeling gratitude. And I have this passage by Dr. Ernest Holmes that I found so supportive in reminding us of truth. He says, neither the will of God nor the nature of God can change. Reality is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That which was is, and that which is will forever remain. Our nature is spiritual. The only thing about us that can change is that which ought not be permanent anyway. The only thing about us that can change is that which ought not be permanent. We are changeless beings living in a changing world. And isn't it wonderful to know that something permanent, something substantial and eternal stands in the midst of us? Ugliness may seem to exist for a brief moment, but beauty and joy, like truth, endure forever. And so the reason why I feel that this internal mess in our minds is a magnificent mess is because of the amount of people who I have seen, including myself, take that time to become aware and implant new thoughts and transform their entire lives with a brighter idea, with a more positive idea, with practice. We can transform all of it. And so the second magnificent mess that I want to talk about, it's actually a literal mess, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But it has to do with relationships and our environment and who we think we're supposed to be in those situations. So I'm a mom, okay? I'm a mom, and I thought, I don't know where I got this, but I thought that in order for me to be a good mom, that meant that I had to be neat and tidy, keep my kids really clean, orderly, almost kill Haley to get her hair just right? And make sure they look good, make sure their environment is orderly, and that was going to mean I was a good mom. That was what it was. And then the irony ensued, where we were on this cycle of me cleaning up and tidying up because that means I love you. And I'm getting you all together, and then you're going to come behind me, and you're going to messy it all up behind me because you're going to enjoy your life and enjoy your environment, and you're going to play and experience the divine that you are. And I'm going to come around, and I'm going to be irritated and aggravated, and I'm going to yell at you, and I'm going to tell you that that's not what you're supposed to do because I love you, and I want to be a good mom, so you got to keep your room clean. What? Now, it took me longer than I'd like to admit to realize that this kind of cycle was just for the birds. Like, what was I doing? I didn't want to be that mom that was, and you know what I mean by that, right? I wanted to be the kind of mom that said, yeah, let's make messes and then we'll clean them up later together. And let's be in love in our environment and enjoy this life that we are together. But I wasn't really there yet. So one night we were doing crafts together, and then they said, Mom, I want to go lay on the couch and watch a movie, and all of us can be all snuggling together. And I said, oh, yeah, that sounds great. So we go and we get on the couch and we're all snuggling, watching the movie, and I could not focus when I knew that that kitchen table was a mess and I just needed to go clean it up. And I'm like, ooh, you know? Because here I am, they are so loving and cuddly, and I'm like, ugh. And I thought, oh, that's it, that's enough. And I looked at the kitchen table, and I realized, I don't know why it took me so long, but I realized that the kitchen table was going to forgive me for procrastinating on it. The kitchen table was going to forgive me for not cleaning it up right away. The kitchen table was going to forgive me if I forgot about it for a little bit. But these children, these human beings that were growing up so fast and just wanted to be in relationship with me, they're another story. All they wanted was love. All they wanted was to make magnificent messes together. And so my parenting, it shifted. We began to make magnificent messes together, and I changed from being this dictator to being a democracy in our house. And so the point is that my idea of who I was had to change. I had to surrender that. I had to realize that no pile of dirty dishes, no pile of dirty laundry, no messy kitchen table could ever be more important than the important things right in front of me. The things that were alive, the things that were growing and blossoming into life. And so I wonder how many of us are in relationship with other people, our husbands, our wives, our coworkers, our bosses, our children, and we're in that relationship being the person we think we're supposed to be. And I wonder how many of us could experience an even grander, more spirit-centered relationship with them if we surrendered that role we were playing. If we surrendered our idea of being the perfect parent or the perfect daughter or the perfect employee or whatever it is. If we surrendered our idea to what that was, and became present to what is. Because Spirit's always right in front of us, and it's always wanting to be in relationship to us, and it's always wanting to love us through little hands and older people and beautiful sunsets and all of these things that we could miss if we're too busy trying to be what we think we're supposed to be. That's all I have to say about that one. And the third magnificent mess that we make, we don't even realize we're making this mess, I realized. It's a mess that happens in organizations, in businesses, in the workplace, in communities, in churches. And this is where chaos theory comes into play. Because, does anybody know about chaos theory? Yeah, a little bit? So chaos theory is this new science that can, because of computers, how fast they are nowadays, you're able to pinpoint particular parts of light or movement on a system, and you're able to see that system evolve. Now, chaos, these points of light of chaos show up and they're going in all different directions. There's no predictability. They bounce in and out of the environment. And it seems like nothing is ever going to happen. And yet, with the science of the computers, how quickly it is able to show that there is a churning and a churning and a churning of this chaos. And eventually, over time, this chaos turns into order. And it reminded me of chaos and Gaia, you know, the opposition and resonance. It's always like this pendulum of messiness and order, of chaos and order. And so in Leadership in the New Science, this really amazing book, it talks about chaos theory in organizations. And what it says is that when there is stability in a community, and then you go from that pure stability to instability, that everybody in the community starts going off in all different directions, and it's completely unpredictable, and people start doing things you never would have imagined. And it's just this array of chaos, right? And I think maybe some of us can understand that from having a time of a minister to this in-between spot to another minister, and maybe a little bit of chaos that goes on, because this is normal. This is the normal process that evolves into order. And so the number one thing that they've found in companies and communities who survive the chaos and the change is those who are centered on their mission, their vision, and their values. That is what carries them through the chaos, that churns and churns within each and every one of them and leads them into order into the future. And so I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if we as a community could take a moment and recenter ourselves in our values? And so we have a mission statement. We haven't read it in a while, but I'd love to read it together. And if you have a program, you might need a program because we're going to need it twice in the next couple minutes. But the mission statement is on the front of your program. And if you have it, can you just give me a thumbs up so you know when you're ready? Okay. So let's read this together and really ground ourselves in what it is that we do here in this community. We are a loving spiritual sanctuary where everyone is welcome. We celebrate the abundance of life through study, inspiration, gratitude, and service. With open hearts and minds, we participate in self-transformation for a world that works for everyone. Absolutely. These are our values. Abundance, study, inspiration, gratitude, service, and self-transformation in order to be the change we want to see in the world. We be the change we want to see in the community. We be the change we want to see in ourselves. And I know it's hard, and I know it takes practice, and I know that we're always on a on a pedestal, and then we knock ourselves off, or other people are on a pedestal and they get knocked off, and it can be hard. It can be hard sometimes. But this is the ebb and flow of it. This is the ebb and the flow of creation. And we are all really okay because we're making magnificent messes. And so I want to invite you to say the affirmation with me. It's under thoughts. I'm going to read it one time. This is why I said to have a program. Under thoughts. I'll read it one time, and then I want to invite us to read it together. I know that I live in a changeless reality. I am not disturbed by the passage of time, the movement around me, nor the variations of experience through which I go. Something within me remains immovable and says, "Be still and know that I am God." I'd like to invite you to say that with me. I know that I live in a changeless reality. I am not disturbed by the passage of time, the movement around me, nor the variation of experiences through which I go. Something within me remains immovable and says, "Be still and know that I am God." I invite you to close your eyes. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still and know. Right here, I can't help but know and feel and sense that spirit of life, that source of all things, resonating in and through us, penetrating all that we are, every experience and emotion and thought that we have in this very moment. What I know is that right now, wherever we are on our journey, whatever we have been through, we rise in consciousness, and we recognize ourselves as the beloved's beloved, that divine incarnation of life, and we are the ears of God to hear the voice. We are the eyes of God to see Spirit. We are the arms of God to hold each other up. This is the truth of who we are. We are magnificent messes living a glorious life, expressing and experience the joy of life and love and truth and beauty right here and now in our spiritual community. And so it is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I see trees that are green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow, but they'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I see trees that are green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. Please give Bill some love. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, world.
Oh, what a wonderful service, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is our time of offering, so I'd like to invite you to take a gift that you choose. Also, I want to let you know that we've put credit card slips in the programs because who carries cash these days, right? So if you'd like, you can fill out the credit card slip and make a donation that way, and also that means your credit card will be on file if you'd like it to be, so that if you ever want to buy books or classes or any of that, all you have to do is let Julie know that's that. So I'd like to invite you to take your offering and hold it up against your heart if you'd like, in a symbolism of the ever circulation of goods, the ever circulation of good, flowing to us and from us and to us and from us. And so I invite you to repeat after me, or say with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous. Thank you, God.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so glad. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so great. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Good morning. My name is Rachel Rosen, one of the practitioners at this beautiful Seal Beach Church. And I want to say that if you would like to request prayer, you have two choices among many. And there will be a group of us along the side wall by the patio after service if you'd like to come up to any one of us and ask for a quick prayer. or you can write a request on the forms that we have provided for you near the back door, and a group of us go into the bride's room afterwards and pray over every request. And we continue praying through the week and beyond. So know that you are cherished and you are taken in to spirit in that way. And so now I will lead you in a closing prayer, knowing that there is a power and a presence that is palpable, and it is always present here and now, in and among each and every one of us, in every situation, every relationship, every circumstance and appearance, underneath everything that flies by our eyes and ears, there is one truth. And we hold that truth to be good and to be nearer to us than the bend of our elbow, to quote Maya Angelou. This truth prevails no matter what else comes through. So knowing that there is a divine mind that encompasses all of the human experience, I give everything to that, and I bless and surround each and every one of our prayers that come through consciously or unconsciously as we've been sitting here this morning, knowing that we are precious jewels and that God takes into his or her arms each and every thought, prayer, and idea that we have, each and every want that we may think we are missing. So knowing that we are surrounded by this love that contains us and that we contain and can never fully understand, I give thanks for each and every individual who participated in this service and each and every one of us here today. Thank you.
Let's bring in the kids. Protecting the water. Because remember when it broke? It's on. It should be on. Say hello. It was. Hello. Hello. Where's the pot?
Hello?
Okay,
it's working.
I'm protecting the water.
Good morning again. Wow. Is this awesome or what? Yes. Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, so this month we're continuing to talk about friendship. And first, Eli is going to share with you what some of the kids downstairs did.
Today we made friendship bracelets, and this is what one of mine looked like.
Oh, wow. Is that for me?
What you're going to do with them?
For some of the bracelets, we're going to give them to our friends, but we also made one for ourselves.
Ooh.
Very nice. Okay, and then upstairs we have Seth is going to let you know what we did up there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So what we did is we cut out words from original quotes and turned them into our own quotes. So our own quotes about friendship. And we're going to read our own quotes. Friendship only comes when you can trust yourself and accept people for who they are.
So we just maybe pass this around, and each person's going to tell what quote they did. Mine is, true friends listen when you speak from the heart.
Hello. Mine says, strangers, enemies are capable of being friends from heaven.
Friendship is precious. It brings adventures, freedom, beautiful transformations, and love from a deep connection between two strangers.
Good job.
They wrote those? They wrote those?
Only one of the best friends love you more than anything.
Okay, do we have anybody else upstairs that would like to read theirs that just suddenly got inspired?
Mr. Acuna?
All true friends are a gift from God.
Okay, is that everyone? Okay.
This is from Haley. She wrote it. It's not mine. Friendship is like sunshine. It warms you up when you're starting to get a little cold.
Aww. Aren't they awesome? Okay, and that is it from, is that it? Oh, we need to make a couple of announcements. You do it.
Just a couple announcements. A reminder that you will pick your kids up on stage. We're going to stay through the peace song. And also on the 16th of March, we're having our youth night. So we're having a movie, pizza, and games. It's from 6 to 9 here in the sanctuary. That's March 16th, which is a Friday. Thank you.
And teen night.
Oh, and we have teen night, which is a movie night where they're actually going to go as a group to a theater to see a movie that they will decide on, and that is on the 23rd, which is also a Friday night. So there are sign-ups in the youth room for both. Thank you.
Thank you. Will you hold my hand? Okay, I want to invite everybody to stand and take a hand. Want to hold our hand? And repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in all that I do.
Life is in all that I do.
I give thanks for it.
I give thanks for it.
And I accept it.
And I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you.